friends, hello, welcome back to Icky Streams, Create Above and Beyond. How are you all doing? I'm not trying to be aggressive there with the sword either, I just realised I was like swiping my sword at you, so hello. How are you guys doing? You might notice I finally figured out how to get all of my bars showing at the bottom so you can actually see what I'm doing. I know, it's a miracle. Also, what did I do with my... Oh no, what have I done with my pickaxe? What have I done with my pickaxe? What did I do with my pickaxe? Is it... Okay, well that brings us round to what we're going to do tonight. So I'm not feeling particularly fantastic. So I'm going to take it slightly easy tonight, and what we're going to do is we're going to start work on another one of these buildings. And get into some of the Tink's stuff. So what is Tink's? Tink's is, if I go over here at Tink, is a mod pack that you find in most mod packs in the world. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you can learn how to use Tinks, you'll be all the better for it, just so you know. So I do kind of recommend it for sure, because you get like slime blocks, you get things, you've also got a billion different like ways to melt nuggies and stuff, and also interesting kind of tools. So like here you can fling yourself. You've got different explosions and things. The biggest thing, you know, you've even got mob heads, dun dun dun, using severing, which is the sword that 2 likes, as it so happens. But you're also over here. Let's see if I can find them. There we go. You can make different types of tools with different types of materials. So here you can see the blazing bone pickhead axe has conducting, so it's probably got like some kind of electricity in there. The pig iron is tasty. Overgrowth and slime, if you use slime to build something, so on and so forth. Now there is a book that can tell you all of the different materials that you probably want to use. For now, we're probably just going to start going with the usual iron stuff, because that seems sensible. So, first thing is first. We want to make ourselves some grout. Now, if I try and find them. These things here that I was mentioning just now, this is how to build a bigger smeltery. So we're going to build like a bit of an iron forge, I guess. And so we want to make a bunch of these. But in order to do that, we need to make the grout. So if I grab some gravel, some sand, and some clay, because that's what you need for it, and we'll search up Groot, which it does. There you go. I am Groot. If you do that and that, now we need to make them into boxes. It'll probably save space in the cooker actually. So yeah, let's do that. Hudja. And then we'll do that, and we'll do that. So it's 4 sand, 4 gravel, and a clay block. Will make you a lot of grout. Now, I have to warn you here. This, and you'll see in a second, when it cooks down, turns into a 1 block. Yeah, you heard me. 1. And in order to make 1 of the furnace blocks, there you go. So that makes that, right there. That guy. Right? Wonderful. Brilliant. You now need to combine 4 of those, like you do with clay, to make 1 block. Yeah. So you need quite a bit of that. If you don't have quite a bit of that, yeah, go and dig some more gravel or some more sand and keep going. Let's see if we can make the Tink's book so I can tell you about the Tink's book. That's slime for everyday tasks. No. That's decoration. No. Booking quill. No. Fantastic foundry. So that's the second type of smelter you can make from Tink's stuff. We're going to make the basic one first. So, no. Map. Blah, blah, blah. Quest book. We definitely don't need one of those. We've got plenty. Buddy card book. No. There it is. Materials and you. Okay. Right, we're going to grab a stencil and chuck it in here with a book to make that. Tinker in training. Now, I said that this is I mean, there's a lot to read in here. I'm not going to make you read it all. I'm not going to sit here and make you read it all, but this here is like the easy way to get going with this pack, with the Tink stuff, and that genuinely is. like have a look through the introduction, so on and so forth. It shows you how to make what we've already made underneath my feet. So this here, with the pattern maker and the station, so on and so forth, the crafting station, is all explained in the book. Yeah. This is basically how I learned. Well, that and a couple of friends. And it will show you how to make things and put things together, and how to build other various stuff, like these chests. I usually put these chests with it, it's really handy. You then get onto materials, and this is a bit more of the fun thing. You can make it a bit more like how you want to play, what kind of benefit you want to get from this. This does replace enchantments on items, on like your pickaxe, your spoon, etc, etc. So if you build a Tink's item, you can't enchant it in the normal fashion. You have to enchant it a different way. But you can see here, I'll take the wood as an example. So this is a material to build one of the items. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I did it! Yes! I got it. So if you build the head of the tool out of wood, and you can see what you can build with all of it because it's all down here. You get 60 durability, the mining speed or level is wood, speed is 2, you get cultivated, so this is where I mentioned it repairs itself over time. That's where that comes from. And you can see, it's basic. It's basic. If you build the handle, it's the same. If you build like the extra items like the cross hatching, it's that. So if we go to one that's a bit more interesting now. There you go, necrotic bone. Probably likely dropped from wither skeletons. You can see now it does, it's got better durability than wood does. Stone, it's not particularly fast, but hitting the enemies will heal you. So it's kind of, it's like, ooh, alright, maybe I want to build my sword out of the necrotic bone. But I want to build my log chopping device out of wood. So yeah, and it's not the only thing you can make out of it. You can also make swords, daggers, hand axes, so on and so forth, and you can even build little things to repair your tools if you're down in the mines. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And if you build one, so like I had my stone pickaxe, if you then put a metal one on into the same like platform building area, you can upgrade it. So yeah, and upgrades are kind of fun. So yeah, you've also got different kinds of books. So this one was the itty bitty smelter book. This one here is how to use slime. And this one here is how to make the giant foundry, which I do recommend going all the way through to foundry, because with the foundry you tend to get extra materials as you smelt stuff. It's kind of cool. So if you're melting iron, you might also get some copper at the same time. So it's well worth having a look, see what you can build, what kind of things you can go for with that, because yeah, it's a really neat part, and it genuinely is in most of the packs that you're going to pick up. We've made our seared bricks. Lovely. But okay, what to do with the seared bricks? I ain't got the seared bricks. Easy. Easy. Alright. You need to make several things for this. So if I get back the materials book. Tier 1 da 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 stuff and things. Is it this one? No. Not helpful. Fine. Ignore the book. So let's go back to @Tinks. Because I know what I'm doing. Ta-da! Sort of. Right. We need, and this is a shopping list of things, okay? We need a bunch of things, right? Following? So, we need a seared fuel tank, which means we need a bit of glass. So this is where your fuel goes. So let's grab a bit of glass. Whatever it's called, the glass. Glass. Again with the storage is... There, glass. Haha. You see, I know where I'm going. Right, so we want a seared, not that one. Not that one, not that one. Seared fuel tank, there. Because that holds the lava, which is what powers the whole heater. We also want a casting basin, because then you can cast solid blocks. We also want a casting table, so that you can then cast your particular patterns, so you can then make the metal things. I also recommend making a couple of these guys. That's the faucets, which will attach to the outputs. Now here's where it gets slightly interesting, because shoot and drain, that's the foundry one though, so I don't want that one. Where is it in the list of things? Seed drain. Oh, it needs copper. Typical. Typical. I don't know if I've got any copper. How mad is that? I don't actually think I've got any copper. I've got some copper. I've got like the smallest amount of copper. We're going to go mining for some copper soon. So we want to make 2 of these guys. Because you want one for emptying out into the basin and one for emptying out into the casting table. This will all make sense very soon. Close that. Empty your bags slightly because it's a mess again. Yep, good, that'll do. And pop some more fences back in there. Right. So we've got that one, this one, that one, and that one. Ta-da! We also need... we need the main operating bitty. Now, I think this is something built with the create mod stuff. Oh, yeah, typical. It's the sealed mechanism, the bonus from chapter 1A. Ooh, I don't know if we're that far yet. It's fine. We can do the basic ones. We can do these 2. Because we're definitely not that far yet. What have I done with my extra? Just make another chest. Because those will all go in here. Right. So for cheats' sake, we're also going to make a seared heater and a seared melter, which requires another seared fuel gauge there, and a seared melter. Perfect. So this is what you should really start off with. This guy. Itty bitty, lovely jubbly. If we stuff him, I think maybe in here? Maybe? Yeah, let's do that. So, doop, doop, and then doop, doop. Come here, sack. So, the heater, which you power with logs or fuel or coal or whatever. The melter, which goes on top, that's where you pop your ingots. And for now, because we are doing it the cheats way, because we definitely don't have the sealed mechanisms yet, is we're doing that. So I'm going to attach one of these faucets on the front of it like that. There we go. So we're not building the whole thing just yet. We're building this bit. So this here is your like basic, very simple one. This one, I think I could make some of it. Yeah, because I've got some cured rubber, so we probably could make some of those. You don't have to follow the pack completely. We would need to make some more cured rubber though. Right, so we've made the cheap and easy version. I do recommend starting with this one, to be fair. I was being a bit ambitious with the other one. So we're going to make ourselves a better pickaxe, a better sword, and a better stone axe, or well, iron axe, hopefully. So what we want to do in here, in this one, there we go. So the handles are always going to be made out of wood, and I kind of recommend always make it out of wood because that's the one that regrows. It's got cultivated on it, which means it fixes itself. What I do recommend you do though is you make a pickaxe head out of wood and a small axe head out of wood. Right? Following? The other one as well is the small blade. I think it's a small blade to make the stone sword, right? Small blade. Yeah. So then we make also one stone blade. Now, I have these here, right? Cool. Because what we want to do is we want to actually melt up some gold, and it's usually gold, in our smelter, so we can create a template to pour other stuff in. What do I mean by template? So if we go over here into my thingy, these here. Now you can do it with sand, but the sand gets used. So if you want to save your sand, just do it this way. If you don't want to save your sand and you're not fast and you want to do it the cheat, quick, easy way, use sand. Which to make the blank sand cast is just 1 block of sand and you get 4 blank casts. So you're not losing that much, but I don't like to do that. But what you can do then is if you place it in the casting basin and you press something into the sand, you'll make the pattern. You then right click it to take the item out and then cast the item into it. In this instance, I am cheating. So let's plop some logs in there and some of that in there, and you can see now here's your fuel. Here's the thing that's melting, and you can see a little thingy going up here to say now we have made some gold, and you can see in here now if it gold. And it's perfectly fine to stand on the top of this one. It's not good to stand on top of the other one. Let me just put that out there, okay? Don't stand on the other one. Right, now, take your wooden pickaxe head and right-click it. And you can see there, if I right-click it, it puts it into the basin. All we do then is we pour the gold over the top. It generally takes a little bit to make a pattern. Actually, don't want to make all of that. It generally takes about 2 or 3 to make a pattern. But you can now see, look, I have a gold cast. Ta-da! So we're going to do that for the pickaxe head as well, or the thingy head, like so, and for the wooden sword. And you'll notice that this is destroying my item. Okay, so when it there you go. See, you saw the wooden bit go. Yeah. So it's one of those. You also want to take one of the seared bricks and do the same, and I'll explain that in a second. So let's say, for example, I had finished and it eats everything that you used to create a cast, but now that you've got it forever. Like that's it. It's now a thing. Now let's say, for example, I had some gold still in here, right? Still stuck in here, and I didn't want to make another cast. I could pop this guy down, and basically when it comes out and solidifies in here, it will turn it into an ingot. So if I quickly demonstrate that, let's take one of my coppers because it will take not long to do. You can pop the nuggets in there as well, but I recommend sticking to ingots. So you can see now the copper has melted. There is my 1 ingot of copper. I don't want copper in there because I don't want to make an item out of copper because it's awful. It's awful. I don't know. Do we have copper in here as a flint, neurotic bone, leather, string, stuff and things? Don't think we've got them in there. No. It's generally it'll break very, very quickly. But so if we then say, I don't want copper in there, you right click that and you'll see it hardens, and with a little hiss you know that it's finished, and you can then pick up your ingot again. Ta-da! See? Clever, eh? We don't want to do that. But it's there now, so that's good. Let's grab a chest, because I don't want to keep lugging these guys around. That's cursed. It's fine, we'll pretend it doesn't happen. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the pickaxe head, plop it in there, and some irony betties, because I want to make an iron pickaxe head, so I can actually use it. Oh, there's not actually anything in there, I could use that. Oh well. Right, so you see the iron's melted there. I mean, this looks really cool. If I then right click, it'll fill up that, and then I'll have an iron pickaxe head. There you go. Sturdy, because it's made out of iron. Easy. And then we don't need that anymore, so we can do the next one. Pop some more iron in. Because then all we need to do, come back up here, make ourselves some tool handles. So 1, 2, and oh, I've run out of templates. I've run out of templates. How could you? How could you? They're still cheaper to make. So diagonal with that, diagonal with this. Make yourself some patterns. Easy peasy. Good. We need bigger bags. I need bigger bags. We all need bigger bags. Right. Patterns. Ah, perfect. And then another handle. Simple. Lovely. So we've got 3 handles now. 4 candles? What? Of course, most of you will probably be too young to remember that. Then we're going to cast the head. I mean, this bit is a little bit boring, but, I mean, it's going to make things a lot easier. Don't need that anymore. And then we've got that. So, the other thing to note is if I didn't pour enough in here, the liquid, so say for example this, they usually tell you how much it costs for a cast. Usually. No, it doesn't say. It doesn't show at the moment. But it usually tells you how much it costs for a cast. And if you don't put enough materials into the cast, the liquid's just gonna stay there actually. It'll just chill out and stay there until you fill it up with enough to pour it in. And if you try and pour, say I've got iron in here and I need to put another iron ingot in here and top it up, if I put gold in here and try and pour it in, it just won't work. You can't mix on the table like that. So just worth bearing in mind. Now, let's have a look, see what other materials do I have. Kind of wondering if I've got leather somewhere, but I don't think I do. I do have cows outside. I could go and kill a cow. Poor cows. They only just got here and I'm going to go and kill them. Woof. Vicious. Oh wait, no, there we go. Leather. Because that should give me another type of material. Ah. Not in this one. I'm getting my mod packs crossed. So, okay, fine. I need, for the sword, it's actually 2 handles. Two tall handles, fine. For the pickaxe, I need a binding, and for the hand axe, I need a binding. So 2 bindings. There we go. Right, so I now have everything I need to make myself a better set of tools, potentially. Right. I know I didn't need to make all of that because I probably could have just upgraded these guys, but for purposes of showing you guys, I've done the whole lot. So for a sword, one of them, one of those, 2 handles, and the iron blade makes me an iron sword, right? Why have I still got the bench in my bag? Why have I still got anything in my bag? Ugh, never mind. Right, the small head and one of the bindings and one of the handles makes me an iron pickaxe, like that. And finally, we get the iron pick head and the wooden bit and the handle, and we get ourselves a lovely jubbly. I'm going to shove the book on the boat. There you go. Book on the shelf. There we go. We've got ourselves some upgrades. So if I place these side by side, hang on. Box full of things. Right. Flip, flip, flip. Right. Gonna get these all side by side so you can kind of see the benefits of upgrading. I mean, you guys know that upgrading your tools is going to be a good thing to do anyway, but so over here it's got cultivated and stone bound, which basically meant that it was kind of cheap, but it would repair itself. It's got minus 2% attack damage, 5 damage, and 1.6 attack speed. So I mean, it's a stone sword. Over here, you can see now it's got 1.6 attack speed, 6 damage, which means I'm going to be able to kill things a lot quicker. And it's got cultivated and sturdy, right? So, sturdy, made from the strongest iron. Ta-da! So the same applies for these guys, except that one's now got piercing, which basically means you can splat things harder. I don't know why you would attack things with a pickaxe. I always felt like this was weird. But you can attack things harder, and this one, which has the same cultivated and sturdy. Although it's cultivated 2 there, if you notice, which means it's going to repair itself ever so slightly quicker. So yeah, worth it. The kinetic mechanism, and then what we do is with this is we pop them. We're cheating slightly. We're skipping forwards a chapter, or well, at half a chapter, because this is at the end of chapter 1 that we get this unlocked. But I'm doing it now so we can finish off the thing. If you take the kinetic mechanism from chapter 1, which is what we're building up to automating, and then pop some cured rubber on both sides of it, you can make the next mechanism. And the next mechanism is the sealed one, so it's more likely used for fluids, etc, etc. Now that I've got those, we can pop it around the seared bricks, like so, to make the smeltery controller. Ta-da! If we come up here, I mean, we didn't need to make this, but I wanted to make this, so pop that there, and you'll see now the little faucets here that were previously. I wonder if I should have put it there actually, because that feels a bit more sensible, doesn't it? You'll see there, if I take that out, it turns back to the copper face, and it basically is just telling you this is not operational at this point. So I can still do what I like with it. It's this block here that makes it all work together. There you go. So if I right click on that now, if you remember the small little smeltery I made over there, hang on, let me go show you. Tree grew. This guy here, little melter and heater and casting table, I'm going to nick that and take it to the house. Probably should take a chest as well. Now is this guy. And instead of being able to only melt down 3 blocks, I can now melt down, well, nearly 10. Nearly. 6, 4, 8. 8. And I can still make it bigger, see? So I can keep going up. It's not like it matters. On this particular one, you can just keep going. But that is that. So if I pop that there and that in there, this is now a working smeltery. Your lava bucket. Right click on the fuel tank and you'll see now the lava sits in there quite happily. Doesn't burn the building down. Perfectly fine, okay? Lava goes in there. Then if you right click on the smeltery, you get the window here and you can you can then fail at it. Hang on a second. It's not recognising that as part of the smeltery. Pain. Why do you do this to me? Let's put it here. This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. Yep. It never likes it if it's on the corners, so you sometimes have to jiggy pokey it. But, nah. Right. Now the lava is in there. Yeah. It needs to be, like, actually on an edge, but an edge that is, like, in the centre of it. So if I pop a brick down real quick. The fuel tank needs to be actually on one of these walls, otherwise the thing won't work. It's bizarre. It's something I always get wrong, to be fair. But so you've now got fuel in there. So now if we take these and chuck them in there, you'll see you get a little progress bar again, and it melts it and pops it in there. And you can just keep shoving them in. And the beauty of this one is, if you include the chute, so if I search for Tinks again, should have just left it on Tinks to be fair. This one here is an input and an output, so you can shove stuff in it. This one is just a drain, so you input and output. You can also create that there channel, which basically it is really genuinely like the old like Blacksmiths, where you would run it along a channel and then see it fill various patterns. You can do that. I've never done that, but you can do that. So you can see here now, you can see you've got your 8 spaces to use, and you can also hover over it and see how much have I got going for me in there. So this one has got a whole total 1 ingot, now 2. So all you have to do to get that out is, as before with the other one over there, you just right click on the faucet, it'll pop it out into the casting table. You've got your lead ingot. Same applies, there we go. The other thing you can do with this, and it's something that not many people realise, is if I pop and stop, leather, pop, and then melt up some more nuggies. The other thing as well that's really cool that I never really noticed until someone pointed it out is the colour changes in there. So you can see that's now like a nice purple. Yeah. So, again, wait for it to finish. So you've got one ingot in there. I want to show you it doing it automatically, so I want two. This is why you might want to expand it and make it bigger. And I mean, if you always end up with extra of these bricks anyway, so I've got quite a few in my bag. So you always end up with these extra. It does use up a bit, so we've used like a quarter of a box already, or a quarter of lava already. But there is a way to make lava with create, so don't stress. Lovely. Well, thank you all very much again for joining me on this crazy adventure. I am happy with that tonight. That looks very nice, doesn't it? It's oh, hang on. Look at that peeking through the window. Right, sorry, distracted. So yeah, thank you all very much for coming tonight. I will see you hopefully next Wednesday. I'm working on another beaver video. I've edited the video from Wednesday, so that'll be up on the YouTubes tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned. But for now, thank you very much. Good night and goodbye.